a follow-up video with the dominant higher frame information, so we have a better idea of what the market's trying to achieve. So I had to do some conversions because the bar width of the daily is different to the divine math of what the bar width should be according to the structure. But unfortunately, with TradingView, that you can't change the interval to what it should be. So unfortunately, that information needs to be converted. So I did some of that stuff, and now we've got something to look at. All right, so according to conversion, that's the previous cycle. For those who obviously are following the strategy, that'll be the first high, the second low, third high. Okay, let's start again with turning points rather, because it's not typical. It's not really the third high. There'll be the second high, which confuses things. So turning point 1, turning point 2, turning point 3, turning point 4, turning point 5, turning point 6, turning point 7, turning point 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, and now we're looking for a turning point 3. I think when I say that now, after putting the structure up, turning point 3 typically forms somewhere along here. And what we've got over here, which you can see I've marked it off as a double bottom, potentially even, I need to get really close up on that to see if there is this lowered that low, but it could potentially be that this 9 is actually going to a 10 because of the double bottom. I mean, I think the best thing to do is to label it as a 10, and then 10 going to 1, because then 1 can form somewhere in the first half of the quadrant, as it typically always does, and then from there we can analyze if it wants to form a higher low and a higher high, or I mean, it should be something like that, I guess. Maybe it's just consolidating across because it seems that it doesn't want to go down just yet. And once it's formed its high, then maybe just crash down, or alternatively form a higher low and move back up. So that's going to take a while to form. Yeah, I'd say the duration of this year into 2026 will give us the information that we are seeking over here. So basically what I'll do is, because of this double bottom, I'm going to remove this information, bring 10 across to here, put that down. Scaling is very important to get right, so make sure that your candles look healthy. There we go. I'm just watching how candles form along the support lines over there, so it looks much better. This then changes, so that means the probability boxes have got to be shredded down. This is fine because we mark off where price has already been, so that just gives us a better idea of where it's not going to go, and then leaving us with the area that it might go. So let's just lay down the rest. Just to remind you guys, this information used to be behind paywalls, and now you get to see how the strategy is done without having to be on the other side, which is pretty cool. So whilst I'm looking at everything, I'm just going to do that. But also I need to make sure my scaling is correct. So I'm just going to take this. See if it's the right size. Yeah, that's looking pretty healthy. All right, I mean, I'll be honest, this double bottom did catch me off guard, because it's not a double bottom in the typical sense where you'd see an absolute price ranging or bouncing on the same price line, because if I zoom in, which I'm afraid to do because then you lose your scaling, blah, 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 trading view nonsense. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that over here, what we've got is candles bleeding below that line over there, but over here, not so much. And again, because I've been working with the AI architecture and building them for the last 3 years, I see now that wicks aren't meant to be taken as seriously as I once thought. It's the body of the candles that actually hold the weight. So over here, I would classify it as a double bottom, is what I'm trying to get to. So I hope you guys are following. I hope that makes sense. I think putting down the oscillator on the higher frame has got some value, but because of the size of the candles, it doesn't necessarily register as well as when it's used on the lower time frames. So I've learned. And so I'm not a big, I don't overly look at the oscillator on the higher frame, so I can get rid of that. I mean, look over here, for example, it just switches and switches and switches and switches and switches. Sure, we can change the speed and that sort of thing, but I'm not too interested. Just by the way, guys, what I'm using, even though I call it the MACD, is not the typical MACD. The one from TradingView is different in that there is a offset problem that they've got and doesn't give the clean information. So for example, the switch over here is directly underneath where the switch happened, and the switch over here is after the fact. So we've calibrated it to where the turning points actually happen. So just a warning on that. Don't just use any MACD. I recommend obviously joining my community and get access to those tools so you can get better accuracy overall. Like I said, I prefer this on the lower time frames, but over here, as you can see, it happened very cleanly underneath where the turning points actually happened. Something that the MACD, that standard, doesn't achieve. All right. So what's next? Where do we get up to? Market structure, we spoke about. Time forecasting, we've got ourselves kind of laid down over here. And oscillator, we've covered. Price forecasting comes up next. So we're just trying to ascertain where the highest probability is going to be. For now, I don't want to get overly confident. So I'm going to instead just mark off this area as our probability area for now. And then what I'm going to do is, because I've got a lot of conversions to make to get this to fit into the normal structure that the divine math falls upon. More on that, I guess, on the material. It's quite a big talking topic, and I know I sometimes cover too much in these videos and it's like information overload. So if you want to learn about cycles and quadrants and how all of the time frames interlink and how the markets are actually fractal, reach out to me and we can start that discussion. But over here, to get the AI forecast out, like I said, it's not as easy as the lower time frames, so I won't be able to do that right now. Support and resistance, just closing off this forecast. I don't know if it's got the power to keep charging on along the support line over here, so I'm assuming it's going to crumble across to perhaps this support line, and then because we have a higher low, so 6 is below 8, 10 is below then 8 is below 10, we're going to obviously see price break 9, so expect, is it a new all-time high? Has price gone below 125,000? Actually, I don't think so. Yeah, so expect a all-time high coming in, so I'd say 130,000. And I think how it could get there is something along the lines of this. Something to that effect. So we'll see what the weekend brings. If it decides to crumble across or to travel further up, what I mean by that is it going to go up here? I don't think so. Or is it going to go down, across, and up over there? Time will tell. And hopefully the AI will give us some guidance as well. All right. I think that's it for now. I was pretty impressed with how things landed up. I didn't actually cover this in my previous video because a lot of my community is on TradingView. But there are some guys on YouTube, and I just wanted to let you guys know, for those who are watching on YouTube, that this was a great success. So just to kind of take you back a bit, this was on the 1st of October. We got the forecast out. I mean, even before that, I suppose that's a previous forecast. So we got this forecast out over here. I couldn't believe it because there was already a massive run up, then a short down, a massive run up. And I thought that the market would be kind of overextended. So my human brain would have gone short and thought, all right, cool, it's going to push down that direction from there. But over here, the AI said it's going to take a relatively sharp turn and start pushing to the upside, and that's exactly what it did. So the AI was spot on over there. And then I brought in my new model forecast over here, which seemed to hug quite well with the immediate price action that's happening. And again, my human bias was thinking what goes up must come down. So I kind of overlaid it, expecting for price to go down. Again, that's human error, not the AI error. And then I tossed and turned about that over that. And I saw that there was another forecast made by the same model that got the previous forecast bang on, like spot on. And I thought, let me just overlay it and see what happened. So I pretty much, this is all on the same day. I know it's a lot of posts. So that's October the 1st, October the 1st, October the 1st, October the 1st. And I ripped away what was the old forecast, and I overlaid what was the original one provided back here, and I just absolutely, it was incredible. Look at it. So this is, today's the 13th, Friday the 13th, no, Friday the 3rd, and price action has come up, consolidated, it had a charge to the upside, it slowed down over here, it did this consolidation, and then it just continued to power on. So let me get into that a little bit deeper for the YouTube guys. Consolidation, where my mouse is, push to the upside. All right. I can't change these images vertically. So the price action surpassed how high the AI suggested it may be, but it's because it's limited to this fixed rectangle image. I can't scale it upwards. So even though this isn't directly alongside price action, it was indicating where it was going to turn, where it was going to cool off, and where it was going to climb, and where it was going to dip back down. That's insane. This is almost 2 days of information before it happened. And you can go back, as I made mention to the previous environments, the previous forecasts, the previous posts. I need a cup of coffee, clearly, and just confirm it. So this is incredible, 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 incredible. Like, this should not be possible, but thank God for the age that we live in, because it now is. So that's just something I wanted to share for the guys who've been following the strength of the AI forecasts that have been going out. And then the next one has been submitted over here if you want to see it. So go give that a watch. Well, it's a lot of talking, and my day's just begun. So I'm going to get back to it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the DMs over here, and I'm happy to start the conversation. All right, guys, that's it for now. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Ciao.